Hello, my fellow adventurers. This is Mloentje, and welcome back to New World here in Reekwater. Cause, well, yesterday I was happy enough to complete everything, and yeah, the sword and shield. I did have to spend a little bit more time on it than I was expecting to do on it. Cause yeah, I kind of said this before. In comparison with the hatchet, it really didn't do a lot of damage. And yeah, on the elite run yesterday, we weren't with a lot of people, and that meant that I was able to actually finish off my ice gauntlets as well. So we only have two more weapons to complete the bow and the musket. And as I have the bow at level 4 already, I think I'm gonna, well, pick that up. And yeah, as the bow and the musket also are the only weapons that actually use resources to be able to do damage, I did do a little bit of farming up. So I wonder if 6,000 arrows will be enough to actually level to level 20. We can only see. But for today, I'm not really sure what to do. We still have quests in Great Cleave. But we also noticed that we have a quest here. And if we actually check out this quest, it is the Keen Temper, the legendary sword quest. And usually when these pop up, we go right for them. Because, yeah, I can't really... It kind of bothers me that there's a quest in a zone that... Oh, no, it's Reekwater. Okay, I was like, oh, there's multiple quests here. Why haven't I finished them yet? No, we haven't done Reekwater yet. So yeah, I do think I'm gonna go to Cutlass Keys and actually do that bow quest, and that way we can actually check out Sea Dreams as well. It's been a while to see if that one is fixed. So yeah, let's move on out and let's see what this legendary sword quest is all about.
You know, I was thinking, my days of swashbuckling are few and far between lately.
I've been sitting on an idea for a sword sharp enough to slice a stone block. That's something you'd care for? Yes, I appreciate the offer.
Excellent. I call it Keen Temper.
And I'd be pleased to just see the blade put to the test. If you can gather all the elements needed for it, I think I can make you a warrior without equal. Good luck. 140 coins, that's actually pretty good. And what do we need to do? We need to travel 6.2 kilometers. We're going all across the map again. Collect items used to craft Keen Temper. Travel to Cutthroat Cavern in Restless Shore to collect hilt leather. And that is... I was actually thinking like my bow is rather low level. So if I can do some quests in Cutlass Keys, that would be really nice. Because then I can level it up on easy mobs before I go to the high-end mobs. But yeah, before we go to Restless Shore towards the Cutthroat Cavern, I'm quickly gonna take a look if Sea Dreams is actually fixed. So the problem with the quest is once you enter an area, as you can see on the top here, Salty Snail's Fishery, the location updates, telling you, okay, you're in this location. Now the problem with this here is this is also a named location, but the location does not update, meaning that the mobs in the location also don't update and give us the drop. And as far as I can see, I think we should have already been in the zone. Let's go a little bit further. But yeah, it's not updating yet. So we should already be in the vicinity of the zone. The area should actually update to where we are. And with that update, the quest should also update for, okay, you're in the right location. These mobs should drop this. But they're not, so it's not fixed yet. Oh, Ironwood. And we gonna need to collect 15 hilt leather from lost enemies. And those are basically any type of enemy we can find here. And while we do that, I kind of want to talk about something else I noticed yesterday. So We talked in a previous video about how to get your hands on the umbral shards. And then I was like, okay, fine. So we can get our hands on umbral shards if we get our expertise level to level 600 and then just craft the boxes for that expertise level. So for instance, if I crafted a box for my hands, which were at the level 600, I would get 3 umbral shards from that. If my gear was at 6602 and I would craft a box for it, I think I would get 5, and at the max rank 625, so I looked up the numbers a little bit. So at 625, if you actually would craft a box for hands that are at 625, you would get 200 umbral shards for that. It's still a drop in the bucket, knowing that you need like 2,500 to make that last bump to 2,500. So I was thinking like, okay, that, well, they would obviously just remove the restrictions you have on, being able to craft the gypsum orbs. So they probably removed the amount of gypsums you can get per day, right? No, they didn't. Yesterday I went into 4 OPRs and basically got only 2 ruby gypsums. I gathered at least a lot of resources and I only got my hands on 2 emerald shards. Meaning that, well, basically you're still restricted. It does a little damage. But for players who don't go into expeditions, they basically are limited with a big amount. They're limited with a big amount. Because, well, yeah, if you don't go into expeditions, like, for instance, you're a solo player, you don't really, like, are in a guild or something, you just solo play constantly, and you still want to get your hands on umbral shards, but you're not really a crafter because your professions are not basically up there yet, the only means you have is by crafting the boxes. But not being able to craft the boxes in, like, for instance, say that I want to spend a lot of time playing OPR, or I want to spend a lot of time just farming up resources. It would make sense that you basically are able to just get as many of the emeralds or the ruby gypsums as you can, but it isn't. How can I do my ability? I'm pressing my button. Oh, now it did it. Yeah, bow is kind of weird. Okay, he's running away. But yeah, it's kind of something I noticed yesterday, and I find it actually pretty strange that it's working this way. I obviously would have thought they... Where the hell did he come from? I thought they would remove that restriction as well. Yeah, okay. So, if you draw your bow, you basically... Oh, now I actually can swap it. It's kind of strange. Because when I used my bow a second ago, I couldn't really swap it. It was holding me back from using an ability, but now it's actually letting me use the ability. Yeah, there's definitely a lot that I need to learn, and we already used 500 arrows to only level up once. I think the 6,000 arrows that I crafted is barely gonna be enough to actually level this up. But yeah, we'll see. We have to travel to the Hollowing Great Cleave to collect grindstones. And where is that? Great Cleave. The Hollowing. And this area seems to be like a hollowing. I think it represents like all 3 of these bases, maybe even all 4 of the bases. I'm not really sure. But it says we're gonna need to collect grindstones from corrupted enemies. And that means any corrupted enemies, right? Yeah, it does do some damage, the bow. But you gotta be tricky. I don't know, it just feels a little clunky. How should I say this? Like, shooting regularly, it's kind of okay. But then, the abilities... I don't know, it kind of feels... Kind of feels clunky. I really don't know how to pronounce it differently or how to explain it differently. It just does. It seems we got another talent. And what do we want to go for? Evade shot, maybe? It gives us a little bit more leeway. Not really sure if splinter shot is. Sounds like it's more for ability cannot headshot. That's something I already don't really like. But it kind of seems this one gives me a little bit more relay. And let's go with this one. That way, if they get too close, I can actually like just draw back. Just do that. Oh, and I missed it! Oh, and I missed it! Holy crap! Where are you going, dude? There we go. And it's also like I kind of want, at least for farming, well, farming the levels, kind of want to have abilities that are on a lower cooldown, so I can use more of them. Okay. Yeah, and they're 9, what are they? 10 seconds, 11 seconds, and then 12 seconds. So this way I can use more abilities, and as I'm still playing with the focus builds. Oh! It definitely gives me a little bit of leeway on being able to survive a little longer. See, here I wanted to shoot, but it actually didn't shoot. It definitely, I don't need to constantly aim. Like now I'm actually holding right mouse button to aim, to be more precise. Oh, OPR. See, and again, it didn't use my abilities. Strange that I still hit that. Oh, I'm stuck. There we go. Definitely does like, what was that, 1200? Yeah, I'm gonna go into Outpost Rush, then come back and farm up 10 more grindstones. Okay, I'm starting to see the pattern here. The mistake I was making was when I aim and I hold my left button to shoot, but you kind of just need to press it once and you instantly shoot. You don't need to hold it. The second you actually draw, you just press the button and you shoot. And I was holding my left button to actually release it to shoot. And that was the kind of the mistake I was making. And actually making me feel more clunky than it actually was. And yeah, for the next part, we need to travel to full route in Morningdale to collect quenching oil. And that is all the way up top here. Alright, and we're gonna need to collect 14 quenching oil from war dog enemies and chests. Now this becomes the tricky part. Now we're gonna... Yup! Yeah, this gives me, like I said, a little bit of leeway into actually avoiding enemy attacks. It's gonna take me some time. Yup, dodge. Oh, another OPR. That's pretty fast. And I missed all 3 of my shots. That was pretty bad. Oh, the fouled cloth pants here as well. Quickly farm up this before we head into our second outpost rush, and then we're kind of done with the outpost rushes. And I kind of feel sad, like I said before, it doesn't really make sense that you just can't farm them up to get more of those gypsums. Yeah, we already know how this one is gonna end. 11 versus 20. This game sometimes it just cracks me up. So yeah, we're gonna do whatever we can to actually get to the 500 score so we can get our gypsum out of this outpost rush. But yeah, it's gonna be an inevitable loss, right? If you got 20 people pushing 11 people, you're just gonna get overwhelmed. Like I said, inevitable defeat, but yeah, still did pretty good, I would say. What's my performance? Allies healed, total healing 236,000. I did get focused a lot, but I do have to say light gear, it's so much easier to just get away from the enemies than in medium gear. Like it kind of doesn't make sense because you have way less physical and elemental well resistances. But still the dodge roll, and then especially if you dodge roll and then swap weapons, you don't get the slow. And you can basically keep this up indefinitely. Well, not indefinitely, but every time you reach 50, you just dodge roll, swap weapons, and you don't get the slowdown. And it actually makes survivability in light gear pretty viable, I guess you could say. But we are back on the farm here. So let's start killing and collecting these quenched oils from these enemies and try to learn to play with the bow, because I wanted to shoot there a second ago and it just wouldn't fire. Like, holy crap, this is... Yeah, it might be strange for me to say this, but I think there is a kind of a learning curve behind the bow. And yeah, you need to aim to actually... It does do a lot of damage though. There we go. Nice. And another mastery. And there we go. Down he goes. That should be the last. Where the hell did... Okay, right here. Nice. And that also means that I have another star metal vein to collect, and we need to travel to Broken Promise in Morningdale to collect the Blade of Elionios. 1.9 kilometers away, and that is right next to the fast travel point. Down he goes. Let's heal up a bit. And I know that it can be like probably way more efficient if you just go with a glass cannon build, because right now I'm basically, well, I'm still at 100 in con. 100 con. I thought it was kind of under 100 con, but yeah, it would be way more efficient if you just go for 328 dexterity. That way I probably kill the mobs in like 2 shots or something like that. But I don't really have the gear for it yet. Oh, I missed my shot there. He's gonna be a little more tricky. Oh, he interrupted me again. Let's try to avoid his charges and rushes. Ugh, right in my face. Let's go back up before he is too far from his spawn and actually resets. Don't want that to happen. Yo-ho-ho! That's a good one. And we're gonna pull some extra mobs with this, no? Dodge! Good, 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 good. Got him. Nice. 112. And the Blade of Oleonas. And it seems we are done with collecting our items, and we need to go craft at a forge. And that means we are heading... I think the forge in Brightwood is high enough. Where's the forge? Ooh, tier 2! How can we not have the forge and the kitchen up to tier 5 yet? I gotta talk to my company, because that's not right. Where can we go? Restless Shore, maybe? Tier 4? Yeah, that should work. And it's still a neighboring company, right? Here we go. Keen Tempered, and we get Refreshing Ward on it. Reduces active cooldowns when you're hit. Surefoot, move 20% faster while blocking, and luck 2.2%. It's overall, but still, it's a 480 weapon. I don't really get it. How can it be a legendary weapon? If it was 580, I would understand, but 480 is kind of like, I'm not really sure if the wiki says that a lot of these weapons are actually 580, and I think it's kind of bugged because, well, not bugged, but I didn't complete the quest yet for these weapons, and if I would have cleared out Great Cleave, I think you could get this weapon at 580. I'm not sure, but I think you could. Well, oh well, we are here right now. Let's craft it up. It's not like probably gonna use it. And there we go. And we got some, weaponsmithing XP as well. So pretty nice. Let's check out what it looks like if we equip it. It's nothing really fancy. Like, it really isn't all that fancy, actually. I would have presumed there'd be some glows on it and some colors in it, but seems a pretty standard and ordinary sword. And of course, the last thing we need to do to completely finish off this quest is head back to Antonia Lucian, show him that we crafted this weapon.
That's the swagger of a true swashbuckler, I see.
You got everything you needed for the blade, didn't you? And now you'll be wielding the sharpest sword this island has ever seen, the Keen Temper. Indeed, you take care of that weapon, you hear? Oh, I doubt this is the sharpest weapon. It's definitely not the most powerful, but it might be the sharpest, who knows. But yeah, this is where I'm gonna wrap up this episode, guys. Let's sit our ass down like we always do. That's not really good. I want it to be up close and personal. There we go, that's better. So if you want to see more of my quest progression or my let's play here in New World, just hit that subscribe button. It would always help out a lot. I do hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.